Joined now by Richard Huffman. He is the president and CEO of Celebrity Learning Centers. Sir, thank you so much for the time today.
Thanks, Charlie.
It seems like we prepare so much for every possible idea when it comes to staying ahead of a storm like Sandy. Sometimes we forget about the kids.
Yes.
And we think about how they're processing what's going on.
Yes. As you can imagine, this was a swirling conversation in our preschools on Friday. And we really took advantage of it in our preschools during the weather section of our curriculum. And there were so many unique conversations of the curious child who, what is exactly a hurricane? What is a tropical storm? All of the above. It was so cool.
How do you even begin answering a question like that for a little one when they see something as large as Sandy as over the Atlantic coast, and they simply say, well, what is that?
Yeah. Well, again, the curious child's asking questions like, what is that? How fast are these winds going to be? And the more anxious child is going to be asking questions like, am I going to be safe? Is a tree going to fall on my house? So we have two types of children that we're communicating with. Those of curiosity, which we could say, let's put a beaker out front on the porch and let's exactly see. So we can make it a fun, exciting event, but also nurture that other child that has those anxieties that we can more nurture those anxieties and keep them at a minimum.
Transitioning from the classroom at Celebrity to the home, what advice would you have for parents? Because we're still about 24 hours away from the real meat of this storm hitting us. So parents may want to know, how can I address my child should they have these types of questions?
So again, if you have that curious child, then make it a fun, exciting learning type of event that's about to occur. So again, you could do the beaker outside, talk about how fast the winds could be, measure the rain. We could also, if you have the child that has anxiety, let's talk about that. Let's talk about making sure that they're going to understand that they're going to be safe, they're going to be secure, you're going to be okay, mom, dad, family members are all going to be okay during this event.
Taking a look at a few of the tips right here for you. Make sure your child feels safe. We've covered that one.
Yes.
Always tell the truth with age-appropriate facts. We're not going to tell a 4-year-old the same thing we're going to tell a 12-year-old, are we?
That's correct. That's correct.
You kind of have to modify the information, avoid personal emotions and phobias. To that, you take a child, you're talking about this anxious child. Mm-hmm. What are some of the steps you can do to calm that person, calm that child? Because you said we can tell the child they're safe. We can tell the child that the tree's not going to fall on their house. Mm-hmm. But how do you nurture them? What are some of the steps people can do toward that?
I think just listen to their concerns. Ask questions that will bring out those type of anxiety questions or those thoughts that they're having inside.
Okay, after the storm, because
yes.
if this thing comes through and it's as violent and as forceful as we're being told it is, what happens when that curious child wants to go out and see what happened?
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to going out and just dealing with the storm itself. A lot of our children are helping their parents prepare for the storm, so there's some great learning experiences there. They're helping get the flashlights ready. They're helping bringing the firewood in. A lot of these children have already been through storms like this before, so they kind of know what to expect, and some children really don't know what to expect.
All right, Richard Huffman, he is the president and CEO of Celebrity Learning Centers. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for your time today,
Thanks,
sir.
Charlie.
Thank you,
Appreciate
sir.
it.